If the same conversion occurs multiple times during the same session in Google Analytics 4, all of them will be tracked. But what if you want to track conversion only once per session? In this video, I will show you how to do that. Hey, my name is Julius and welcome to Analytics Mania YouTube channel, where you can learn Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics. And if you want to stay up to date with Google Analytics 4, consider subscribing. In Google Analytics 4, it is quite easy to configure conversions. You mark a particular event as a conversion, and every time it occurs, GA4 will track that. If the same event occurs multiple times during the same session, you will track all of those conversions. As of the moment of recording this video, there is no built-in option to limit conversions to fire only once per session. But nevertheless, that is still possible with some additional configuration in GA4. So let's take a look. In this video, I will show you a very quick example. So let's say that I have a website, and on this website, there are many links that you can click, and that way you can download a certain file. Now, all files are equally important. However, there is one file which is called important document. And let's say that every time a visitor clicks that link and downloads that important document, this is a conversion to me. So first, let's configure the event tracking of this particular document link click in Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics. And then later we will configure it to fire only once per session. So in Google Tag Manager, I have an almost empty container. There's only one tag, which is GA4 configuration tag. Now let's go to triggers. And since I'm going to track clicks of this link, I need to create a new trigger, which is just links, and then some link clicks. And here I'm going to use the built-in variable, which is click URL. And now I need to find out the URL of that link that can be clicked. So I can go to the website, do the right click, inspect, and then I can copy, let's say, this part. So if the URL contains important, then %20, so this means an empty space, document.pdf, this is part of my condition, and I'm going to fire an event to Google Analytics 4. Now let's name the trigger and click save. Now let's go to tags, click new, tag configuration, and G for event. Here I will select my configuration tag, and here let's say that I want to name this event important document click. I will not be sending any additional parameters because let's say that this is just the only important document on my website. Then in the triggering section, I will select my link click trigger, and finally I will name the tag and then save it. And now let's test. So I will click the preview button, that will refresh the preview mode. And now let's click this link, and I will see that on my link click, the tag is fired. Now let's go to the debug view of Google Analytics 4. So you can find it at the bottom left corner. Once you click it, and once you find your device, you should see the important document click event right here. But this is just a regular event right now. So if I want to turn it into a conversion, I would have to copy this text right here, then go to conversions, click new conversion event, and enter that event right here. That way I will tell Google Analytics 4 that this is not just a regular event, but this is a very important event, which is also known as conversion. And then once you create it, you will see that your event is now marked as conversion. All right, so I paused the video, and now after 5 more minutes, I try to click the link once again, and now it is highlighted with this green icon, which means that this is now a conversion. But as I've mentioned in the beginning of this video, if I, for example, clicked this link once again, then eventually we would see another conversion with this very same event name appear right here. So if, for example, a visitor clicks that link several times, for example, 3 times per session, then you will get 3 conversions. So now we have to somehow solve this and make sure that this fires only once per session. And to do that, we will have to create some workaround, which is not very convenient, but it's still better than nothing. So to do that, first of all, let's go to the audiences section. And now we are going to create a new audience. Every time a visitor clicks on that link of the important document, that visitor will be added to a new audience that we are going to create right now. So click new audience, then create custom audience, then remove this part, and then click add sequence. Here we have to create a sequence of 2 events. Every time a session starts in Google Analytics 4, we have an event which is automatically tracked, which is called session start. And then when a session starts, at some point within the very same session, so we have to click here and choose within the same session. Now we have to add another step, which is our event name that we sent to Google Analytics 4, which is important document click. I cannot copy it from here, so I will copy it from here. Copy it and then paste it right here. The reason why I'm adding this event is because this guarantees that this sequence can happen only once per session, because there will be no second session start event in the same session. Now, we are not done yet. So once you have configured the sequence and you made sure that this is happening within the same session, in the audience trigger section, click create new. So every time a visitor enters this audience, we want to fire an event, and this event will be automatically dispatched by Google Analytics 4 itself. So we can name it something like audience or AU. That way you will know that when this event is tracked, you know that this is coming from the audience trigger. So you can name it AU underscore and then important document click. And then you have to enable this checkbox. So this means that every time a visitor completes this sequence, so for example, maybe in one session, the visitor made this sequence and completed it, and then maybe the visitor came back the next day and completed this sequence once again. So we want to track this every time this is completed. So every time a visitor starts his session and downloads a document, we will track automatically this event. By the way, you can copy this text because you will need it a bit later. So copy this text and then save. Finally, let's name this audience. Then click save. And then we should go back to the conversions and we will create a new conversion event, which will be that audience trigger event. So every time a visitor enters the audience, this event will be automatically created by Google Analytics 4, and this event will be then marked as a conversion. And this happens only once per session because of how we configured the audience. Click save. Now, when it comes to testing this, debug view, at least as of the moment of recording this video, kind of sucks because I very often don't see the session start event in the debug view. Therefore, this event most usually is not displayed in the debug view. But eventually, the next day after you configure this, you should start seeing this event in your report. Also, don't forget to publish your Google Tag Manager changes if you have implemented something like I just did. I mean, I can try my luck right now, but usually this doesn't work properly. So first of all, I should probably go to my website and then delete the GA cookies that are used by Google Analytics. And then I will refresh the page once again. That way I will be treated as a new user right here. So now I will pause the video because it takes some time for a new device right here to appear. And then we will see what can we do about it. Right now, my device is right here. And as you can see, I have the first visit, but the session start event doesn't appear right here. Or maybe it doesn't always appear, I'm not sure. Anyway, if I click the link right here, we should see that conversion event. I mean that regular conversion event, which is this one, that regular event. So we should see that one, and here it is, but that audience trigger event does not appear that quickly. So if you're not sure if this is working, once again, relax and check your data the next day, because in the events section right here, the next day you will start seeing some event that, well, actually not some event, but that event that you created with your audience trigger. And that is how you can limit a conversion to be tracked only once per session. Maybe in the future, there will be a built-in option. But right now, you have to create an audience and then an audience trigger. If you found this video useful, hit the thumbs up button below the video because it helps me continue working on this channel. Also, if you want to learn more about Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics, consider subscribing. My name is Julius, this is Analytics Mania, and I'll see you in the next video.